YouTube, it's Ember HoneyRaven, the Big Fat Witch. I wanted to do a book video. I'm going to show you what I'm reading right now, and then I'm going to show you 3 books that I just picked up. And later on, after I have read them, I will let you know what I think. So, right now I am rereading for about I think this is my 3rd time, Mountain Magic by Ivo McCoy. Mountain Magic is, it's really a book about like folk wisdom. And it kind of deals with folk wisdom from the Appalachia area. We're talking about like East Tennessee, you know, that area. And Ivo McCoy is actually, one of the McCoys from the famous family feuding Hatfields and McCoys. Yeah, and she's actually written several books. They're really good. This is my 3rd reading on this book, and it's fabulous. She has several sections on herbs. She talks about like how the people of the Appalachia do medicine, how they view death and dying, looking for water. They call it water witching. There's even some there's a few recipes in here. There's a big section on fertility and childbirth. There is a lot of like folk, maybe wives' tales type of information in here. But it's actually really, really interesting. It talks about like the history of how some of the magic from the Appalachia area came to be. And something that really rang true for me, she had several little blurbs in here on granny witches. And granny witches were kind of these old wizened women who lived in the hills, and people would go to them for, you know, sometimes medical help, sometimes spiritual guidance, whatever. But they were like, you know, the kind of the pillars of their little Appalachia communities. Which actually kind of rang true because my great-grandmother was kind of a granny witch. But she had Romany roots, so she was more of a gypsy witch, but we're from the South too, so I guess there's some intermingling there. So anyway, definitely, you know, if you are from the South or if you're at all interested in folk magic, I would tell you that this is one of the best books I've read. It's one of the only that I've read that really focuses on this particular area and the witchery that comes out of this area. And I will tell you that Ivo McCoy's writing style is really easy. It's not one of those books that you get that are really dry and boring. It's just really, it's fun, and it's, you know, very evocative. I did find something in here that was very helpful, actually. She's got a list of like herbs and spices and things, and she's got like their common name with their folk name. And there are a lot of books that have lists like that, but her book in particular has folk names in it for common herbs that I have not seen in a lot of other books. So anyway, just check it out. It's actually super interesting. Again, this is my 3rd time reading it because, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to for some reason. So, I now have 3 books that I've picked up recently. I have not read these, but I'm going to share them with you and give you my before, and I'll come back and tell you after. The first book, and I have been literally dying to read this for a long time. This book is called A Delusion of Satan. It's the full story of the Salem witch trials. And this book is written by Frances Hill. Or excuse me. Well, who is it written by? Well, it says, it's Frances Hill. Pardon me. This book supposedly is one of the more complete versions of the Salem witch trials. It gives you, if you've ever read anything, the Putnam family were very, very prevalent through the whole like witch trial issue. So she actually gives you a Putnam family tree in here. And basically gives this to you in story form. Yes, she tells you about Tituba. She tells you about the Putnams. She tells you about, you know, different things that people went through. Mercy Lewis, who was one of the Putnam servants. Cotton Mather, who was like the father of all assholery. If you have not read up on the history of the Salem witch trials, please do. It's super interesting, and it's well worth it. And this book looks like it's going to be pretty good. It is a pretty meaty book. It's it's like 250 pages or something like that. So anyway, I will make my way through this. Again, I am in school, so it may take me, it may take me a couple of weeks to get through this, because I do have to read, leisure things when when I don't have anything else to read. I will tell you that this book got a really good review from the LA Times, impeccably researched and intelligently written, which I will appreciate. John Updike of the New Yorker also said that this book was really dramatic. So it seems like she writes in a kind of literary style, maybe like if you were reading a really good novel. So that's going to be good. So I got this one. Very excited about reading this one. In addition to that one, I also picked up this one called The Salem Witchcraft Trials. This is a legal history. This book was written by Peter Charles Hoffer. Now, this book is also about the Salem trials, but this is written from the perspective of legality. It is more about what happened in the courtroom. It was more about the specifics of how people's rights were violated and how the courtroom and the courtroom and how people were persecuted and prosecuted back in 1692 and 1693 when the Salem trials were happening, how the legal system differed vastly and wildly from what we have today. It looks like there may be even some, looks like he actually pulled some actual documents down and, has like some excerpts from those in here. So I'll read this. This actually gets really good reviews as well. It was filed, or has a filing system thing that says it's for landmark law cases in American society. So if you have libraries that are very specific in their sections, that ought to tell you something. It really focuses on, I'm sorry, I'm like really rambling. It really focuses on the legal aspect. And it says it was expressly written for students and for general readers. So hopefully it's going to be really readable. We'll see. Again, this one's not very big. This one's only 150 pages. I can probably get through this in a few days, barring, crazy school schedule. And the third and last book that I picked up, I have been curious about this. This one's called Enchantment, The Witch's Art of Manipulation Through Gesture, Gaze, and Glamour, and it's by Peter Patti. I have been very curious about this book. It was published by Pendraig Publishing. And this book actually there are a few photos in this book. I'm not really sure, the reviews on this book are great, so I definitely will read it. And, I see there are some sections on focus and will and the gaze and projection techniques and working on people remotely, direct manipulation through touch, direct manipulation through gaze, so the glamour. So yeah, I will read this and let you know what I think. I believe it says in here about the author that he is, he's a Brit, but he's of Welsh ancestry, lives in Los Angeles. Let me see. It looks like he's done some spellcasting DVDs, and he's the host of the Crooked Path podcast. So he's got, he's done some other things. So yeah, I don't know. I was really curious. This has been on my Amazon wish list forever, and I finally was just like, fuck it. It actually like went down in price to like, I don't know, it was like $6 or something. So I was like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to get myself a little thing. I probably will read this in sections because it looks like there are some very, the chapters are smallish, just a few pages a piece. So I'll probably just, read this in sections or maybe read it in the tub, a chapter at a time. We'll see. So I will let you know. So yeah, for now, I have 3 new ones that I'm going to make my way through, and I'm going to finish Mountain Magic again because I feel like I need to. But those are my books for this week. I've got Mountain Magic is in progress. I've only got, I'm on this, so I've only got just like maybe 20 pages left. And then I'm also reading, gosh, aside from my school books that I have to read, which are like, one of my classes is in investments, and I'm having to read a chapter on like, you know, the stock market, and it's just dry. It's terrible. So, anyway, I will do a couple of more videos, but for now, I just wanted to share those books with you. And if you are reading anything really interesting, please do a video response. Let me know what you're reading, or if you've read any of the books that I've shown you and you have an opinion on them, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, many blessings, and have a good one. Thanks, bye.